It's time to dive into an insightful conversation hitting important topics such as building relationships, identifying target markets, and overcoming common challenges faced by new entrepreneurs.
Please help us welcome Ms. Shanthi Rajaram, CEO of Amaztech, and Ms. Suganya Madhavan, Chief Product Officer and Chief Technology Officer in CSG Forte, for a perceptive fireside chat.
Meet Shanthi Rajaram, a visionary leader and a trailblazer in the world of technology and innovation. As the president and CEO of Amaztech Solutions, Shanthi has built a company dedicated to delivering cutting-edge IT solutions that empower businesses to achieve their goals. With over 2 decades of experience, she is a sought-after thought leader, known for her ability to drive digital transformation and inspire teams to think beyond boundaries. Shanthi's contributions go beyond the tech industry. She is deeply involved in the Dallas Regional Chamber and the North Texas Commission, working to shape the future of the local business ecosystem. Her commitment to innovation, leadership, and community has earned her recognition as a powerhouse in her field. Today, we are delighted to welcome Shanthi Rajaram to address the gathering. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to her. Meet Suganya Madhavan, a dynamic leader and the Chief Product and Technology Officer at CSG Forte. Suganya's journey in technology began as a software engineer, and today she's at the forefront of driving innovation and transformation in the fintech space. With a career spanning software engineering, product development, data science, and global team leadership, Suganya has built and scaled cloud-based SaaS solutions that empower businesses worldwide. Suganya's contributions have earned her numerous accolades, including the Global Icons for Leadership Award, Queen of Inspiration, Most Empowering Women to Follow by CIO Today, and the More 2.0 Conference Outstanding Leadership Award. Under Suganya's leadership, CSG Forte has won prestigious awards such as the 2024 API Best of Breed Award, the Platinum Prize for Omnichannel Payments Platform of the Year, and the 2024 Paytech Innovation in Payments Award. Her leadership style is rooted in fostering collaboration, continuous learning, and aligning technology with customer centricity. She's passionate about building award-winning products and creating teams that thrive. Today, we're thrilled to have Suganya share her insights and inspire us with her vision for the future of technology and innovation. Please join us in welcoming Suganya Madhavan.
All right, we come from 2 different worlds. I come from services industry and Suganya comes from product industry. So let's start with you, Suganya. Tell us about when you're coming up with products and innovation. How do you look at acquiring the first client?
So it starts with what we are trying to do, right? It starts with an idea. What is the value that we try to bring, right? What is the problem we are trying to solve? Right? There are 2 aspects. You already start a company with a customer going to solve, or you build a product and then figure out a customer. There are merits to each of those options. Identifying what is the core problem that you're trying to solve. Who are we trying to go after? Is it small business, medium, or larger business? And what problems are we trying to understand? Talking to your customers, trying to see what their pains are, and if there is a way we can go in and help, and staying engaged with them, right? And being passionate about things, and if we make a mistake, go back and continuously refine. So those are some things that we take into consideration. Along those lines, I'm just going to put it back to you to say you come from a service background, and during our conversation, you mentioned about, hey, I decided to start my own firm. Guess what? The company that I worked with was my first customer. So how was that journey, and how did you go about acquiring the additional customers in that area?
Yeah, a little bit of background on myself. I started as a developer as well. Worked with bigger companies, bigger corporates. Worked for 5 years with likes of Infosys and IBM. Those days, I was telling that the money that they gave was really good, but half the time I was not sure what I was doing in those organizations. After I moved to California, the first company that I worked for was a startup. And it was world of a change. I think I worked 14, 16 hours a day. And every penny that they gave me, I earned it. And I was so happy doing that. That's when I figured this is the world I fit in, the small company mode, which is fast-paced, where you wear different hats. There is a lot of risk, but I loved that journey. So when it was time for me to figure out what next, I felt, let me try something on my own. It may not work. But again, when you're in your 30s, you think you can do a lot of things. So I was naive and I thought, okay, let me start Amaztech Solutions. It's been 17 years. It's still running and we are growing. This year has been really great for us. When I decided to quit, again, I was challenged with I'm a technologist. I'm not into marketing or sales. And I kept bouncing my idea with my then employer, telling I want to start something on my own. And they were the first ones to say, okay, Shanthi, if you are doing services, why don't you take up this project and do? And I think it changed the world for me. I know a lot of companies struggle to get the first client. For me, that was the easiest part. And the growth after that came from word of mouth, which is unlike many people, the journey that many of them follow. It's, if you have been an entrepreneur, you know that you have a marketing and sales wing that is very robust when you start off. But when we started, we did not have a marketing or sales. Most of the sales came from word of mouth, like one client speaking to the other or somebody who knew us. And it kept us busy for 8 years. I don't think that was a good thing. And it's not something that I'm proud of, but that's how we grew. So it's after the 8th year, we had a dip. And that's when I realized, okay, I need to find different ways of getting customers. It was a hard journey for me, switching from a technologist to going into learning how to network, how to communicate your value proposition to the clients. The other ways, like you said, the follow-up clients that we got other than word of mouth was by networking. So.
Absolutely. I want to just add on something that you mentioned around your first customer itself, like the word of mouth, right? And that is something that I see very well even today in the version of the company that we are working on. We are like CSG Forte, a smaller subsidiary of a larger company, the CSG. Our focus is on payments. We provide solutions in the government, property management, insurance, so any company trying to go in and make payments, right? So in the government space specifically, we can see that it is word of mouth. So when you go into counties or state or municipalities, it's always the county treasurer or the tax treasurer. It goes through the word of mouth. And believe me, when there is an issue, everybody knows, right? The issue could be with one government institution, but everybody else would know when you go in to have a conversation. How did you guys go about fixing that? So everybody knows there is going to be an issue. The one thing that I learned was, how do you stand up in times of that issue? Standing up, owning it, trying to go in and support and be an advocate for the customer, right? That's kind of how you build trust. So when you start up a company, nobody knows who we are. Right? So the best thing to do at that point is partner with somebody else in that space, right? Somebody who provides value or solutions in the area that you're trying to look for. Like if you're in the medical side of the house, go in and work with a partner who already has integrations with your target customers. And one thing that I noticed, as we always say, hey, I am from the tech side, and Shanthi mentioned the same thing, and I was telling her, and just my observation, right? We all think, coming from the tech background, we are no marketing. I am no marketing or sales too. But one thing that I noticed, it is in our blood to do anything. We have the grit. We have the resilience. So I'm simply amazed at the journey as to where you have and what has come. So over time, now you've acquired your customers. There are times to keep that customer, right? Keeping your first customer, keeping your next set of customers. So what are some things that you've learned and words of wisdom that you could share?
Our biggest challenge has been acquiring the customer, because when we are in services, we are competing with likes of Infosys, we are competing with Accentures of the world, and it becomes challenging to say that we can do what those big companies can do. But the easier part for us has been, once we have acquired them, keeping them becomes much easier. I should be thankful to my team for that, because most of my team is driven by success of the clients. Every single person in a small company, like you said, even when I started in the startup, it was only a 4 or 5 member team and we were managing the clients. So as a developer, when I coded, if something is not going right, you know exactly which member in the team made the mistake. So just to save your face, you will be like, okay, let me test it multiple times before it goes to the client. I think thankfully the people that have joined my company have a similar way, because there are not too many 20-layer team that you can pinpoint and say somebody else did that mistake. So that has helped us quite a bit. So, and the learning curve of most of my team members are significantly steep, and that is needed for any services company, because we have to change technology almost every few months. If you don't have a steep curve, then it becomes hard. And you throw anything at them, they will pick it up. So learning, not just even I'm driven primarily by learning. When I started Amaztech also, it was a learning. I did not have a background. I did not come from a family of entrepreneurs. So it was learning that drove me. So for me, getting a client is the challenge. Keeping the client has been easier.
Okay. So from our end, it is actually the way we look at things. We go after the specific verticals. So our focus for next year is, okay, let's go deep, penetrate market in the government property management space, and we try to go after partners, because you go after a software company that sells government solutions, for example, then every business they bring on becomes an inherent. So be a plugin that goes in as part of the larger company's solution itself is the approach that has worked well for us. We also try go directly into the market. One thing that I've noticed is it's all about instant gratification. It's also on the business side, right? How quickly can I finish that integration? And we have had, and I can completely relate to the challenges that you talked about, right? When your competitors are ones that have already built their name, going in as a smaller startup, it's not easy. So, and that's where I think you build your network. You lean in on your mentors. You show your passion. So those are, again, I always think it's back to basics. And as a leader, you always are ready to just jump in, roll your sleeves up and help. And that's what you mentioned, right? You're always there for the team. And it cannot be just for the words. We wear multiple hats. Everybody jumps in to go in and support, right? So getting your first customer and trying to make sure they stay as a long-term customer. At CSG Forte, we have customers who have been with us for 25 years. The founder, who is no longer part of the company, always when we started, he was like, hey, I started the company, my ex-wife's closet, right? Work wardrobe. That's how he started the whole ACH thing. It's just the passion, right? When I had other options to go join, my thing, what drove me was how passionate he was about making a difference, right? And be open to learning. So those are some things that I think help for us to go in and move as we start working on new customers.
We are at the 3-minute mark. I think we were asked to stop within the time, but we can answer any of the questions that you guys may have for us.
Anyone has got a question for Suganya and Shanthi? Sure.
So what would be your words of wisdom for a new startup? Either one of you.
You want to go?
Yeah. As part of my journey, I've seen a lot of people come and talk to me about ideas that they have. The first thing I say is, if you have a good idea, good, don't jump on it right away. If that idea still sticks with you for 6 months, then that's an idea that you need to give more close attention to, start building on it. And if at one point of time it will be bothering you that I'm not doing anything about it, if that is the case, then you absolutely need to do something about it. So ideas come day in and day out. I mean, every day I come up with 100 different ideas, but not 99% of them just drop off and I don't pursue them. And I say the same thing, let the ideas sit with you for some time before you jump into it.
That's a good thing. So it's in lines of what Dr. Abdul Kalam said, right? Dreams are not something that keeps you awake, but something that keeps you going and you keep thinking about it. So I would definitely agree. One thing that I would add on is the grit, right? You have an idea. When you jump into that, it's not always bed of roses, which most of us know, but at the time of failure, do you have the grit? Do you have the resilience, right? So that is something that I would add on to what Shanthi said.
And the second one, there are so many people around that have done it. One mistake I did early on is I was not listening as much as I should have listened to people. Many of them that advise you or give you suggestions, they have the best intent for you. So listen carefully to what they are trying to say. Sometimes it's maturity. I don't think I did not want to listen. It's just that I did not understand what they were trying to tell me. So maybe dwelling a little bit more on why they are telling what they are telling would be a good idea. So yeah, look out for those mentors and listen carefully to what they are trying to say.